let's see how it works. Or if I screwed things up, it's not gonna go live, obviously. And yeah, seems like we're now live on YouTube. Hey guys, hey everyone who is watching us on YouTube, and in today's live stream, we're going to be talking about text animations in Elementor Pro. If you own Elementor Pro, it's going to be really interesting for you. If you don't, then might be this is going to be a, just kind of prompt for you to consider getting Elementor Pro. It's not a promotion in any way, but we're just going to be looking at the animation feature and the scrolling effects that we have in Elementor Pro. But besides that, one of the text animations we're going to be having a look at today is possible with Elementor Pro only, but the other one we're going to actually be, okay, here's my cursor. We're going to be talking about two text animations. The first one is only possible with Elementor Pro, and the second one is with free version of Elementor. So no matter if you have Elementor Pro or not, this will bring some value to you in any way. So only two text animations for today. And if you guys like it, if you want to see more, we're going to do it next week or in a tutorial, which I'm going to upload on our channel. So let's just see how it goes. Hi everyone in the live chat, and thank you for joining in. And so I think that in a couple of minutes we're about to start recreating the actual text animations. While we're waiting for a couple more people to join the live stream, I'm going to quickly jump to the TemplateMonster website, which this is our website, and we sell website templates. What a surprise! And I'm going to show you that we actually have let's close that. We have an entire section of products for Elementor Page Builder. So if you use Elementor on everyday basis, if you are a web developer, web designer, whatever, and you have to work with Elementor, it's going to be really, really handy for you. You're going to find hundreds of items here, and the plugins that you can find here, the templates that you can find here, the themes. Okay, you have themes here, you have plugins here, you have templates. Here are just simply sets of pages like that, or maybe landing pages. It's going to be a great help for you, and it's going to speed up your workflow drastically. So if you're interested, I'm going to share a link to Elementor Marketplace in the live chat. All right. Hey, from Australia. This is so cool. Glad to see you. Really glad to see you. Thank you for joining in. I hope you liked today's live stream. And if you have any questions along the way, I'm always happy. Okay, what's happening here? I'm always happy to get questions from you, to get any messages in the live chat. I'm always replying to everything you're typing in the live chat. So feel free to type anything or to simply say hi. And the second link I want to share with you is a link to one.templatemonster.com, and if you haven't heard of it, it's a subscription service which provides a huge number of products for website building. A huge number is over 10,000, and those include not only WordPress themes and Elementor plugins, but also themes for other content management systems such as Shopify, Magento, and also HTML templates. So if you also work with those alongside Elementor and WordPress, you might be interested in that as well. And you can see the details about the pricing, about the terms of the service. If you read more on the actual website, I shared the link in the live chat. All right, so now when we have a couple more people, let's just have a look at the actual text animations that we're going to be recreating in this video in today's live stream. So this is the template that I got on TemplateMonster.com. This is the template that we're also selling, and you can check more of those out if you follow the links in the live chat. So it might be a little jittery because of the live stream, because of the internet connection. When you go live, you know what happens. The internet gets a little slower, and it takes a little bit more time for the pages to load and for the animations to work. And hey everyone, really glad to see you here, and hey there. So this is the first animation that we're going to recreate. So you see that we have two titles, two headings. One is coming from the left and second one from the right. And as they reach the middle of the page, let's just close it for now. Let's close this thing here. So now it is full screen and we have this text for the entire width of the page. So something like that. And I can show it to you once again. So we have two titles and they roll from different sides, and once they reach the middle of the page, they start scaling up. So they start growing as you scroll down the page. And we're going to have a look at that. We're going to recreate it today in this video. Okay, showing it to you one more time. Okay, this is done, and yeah, some animations working here. And this one didn't really work the right way, and probably it's better if I show it right here on the preview. So here is the preview, the same thing here. Okay, it looks a little weird because of the internet connection, and it was the second type of the animation. So you saw this text sliding up from the nowhere pretty much. And let's refresh once again so we can see the second animation. So the first animation that I showed you was possible with the scroll effects that you get in Elementor Pro. Now I'm refreshing the page to show you the second animation, the second text animation, which works with free version of Elementor as well. So you don't need to get the Elementor Pro. So this one works with Elementor Pro only, because you know they have these motion effects and stuff like that. We're actually going to be using motion effects right here to create these two headers and make them move this exact way, like that. And it's customizable. You could change, you know, pretty much everything about this animation. And let's try and scroll down once again. Okay. The thing is that this text actually has the entrance animations. They're called entrance animations. It has the entrance animation applied. And I see a new message in the live chat. Hi from Bangladesh. Wow, so many people from different parts of the world. It is so amazing. And Elementor is great builder for WordPress, and I agree with that 100%. And I didn't see if it... Okay. Refreshing the page once again. So I really want to show you the animation, but you know, it just keeps... Oh, come on. What I want to do here is to actually make this text appear the way it's supposed to, but because of the way this page loads, it happens kind of weird. Okay, whatever, just whatever. Let's keep it for now, and I'm going to show it to you in the editor because of the internet connection, the pages load in a little bit a weird way. So, these effects also work on mobile. You can see that. And probably because of the, for some reason, probably we would need to tweak the scaling for the mobile version, because it works with the sliding, it works with this horizontal scroll effect, but with the scaling it works not that well. But on desktop it looks great. On the mobile phone also the scaling also works, but it appears to me that the first header is a little bit bigger than the second header. But I mean the heading. Saying header, I meant heading. So, but maybe just me, maybe I'm just seeing things. And you saw that it was it. This was it. This is how this text is meant to appear, like that. So each individual line, each line of these three lines appears like from, you know, like that. It just slides up, but the like, let's say the space underneath it is covered with white. This is why it feels like it kind of appears from the ground or somewhere. So you see that these animations work on both desktop and mobile devices as well. And the thing is that this effect here is made using entrance animations. This is why this effect doesn't happen for the second time. It doesn't happen again because this is the entrance animation. Entrance animation means that your element appears. This animation helps your element to appear. And after that, after it appears with the help of that animation, it's going to stay there. And this is why this text is not, disappearing and appearing constantly all the time. It appears only once because of the entrance animation. So I think that we should start with the first text animation. Let's go to the editor, and here it is. First, we're going to have a look at how to create this type of text animation for the desktop, and then we're going to proceed to doing so on the mobile device. And I see a new message in the live chat. Hey from Ukraine. Okay, thank you so much for joining in. Thank you for watching. I'm really glad that you guys are tuning in and you're interested in me doing these text animations for you, so you can learn something about Elementor, something new, and maybe you can later apply it in your own designs. Hey, and from Spain as well. That's crazy. So many different corners of the world. All right, so we're starting with this animation. So first off, I want to start doing it from scratch. This is why I want to add a new section and drop a heading inside like that. Okay, let's give it a second. There it goes, and it gives it a default style, and what I want to do is simply copy the style of this heading and paste it on this one. And okay, let's just delete this section and change the heading to whatever best. What? I meant to type furniture, but my fingers wanted to type something completely different. Furniture. Does it say furniture? I'm so bad at spelling. Does it say furniture? Yeah, that's correct. Hey, see ya. I mean, dude, I have a live stream right now, and I have my colleague entering the room, and she's obviously not going to leave. Dude, I have a live stream online. I see you tomorrow.
You're beautiful.
Thanks. Bye. I see you. And that was awkward, and she obviously she didn't know, so stuff happens. Yeah, it happens all the time. You're just recording a tutorial or you're doing a live stream, and people just, casually enter in your room and just start saying stuff to you. Who's there? Okay, another coworker. I mean, come on, it's not possible to work like that. And it happens, you guys. It happens all the freaking time. So what was I doing? I actually meant to duplicate this widget and create a second header. And okay, I believe we have to change it. Best furniture for your home, like that. And what I want to do here is want to bring this heading a little bit up the page, so we have it. Okay, where is the, like that. And it seems like arrows disappeared here. There were previously arrows. Were they? Like that. Okay. Okay, looks good. And here, what I want to click on the first heading. I'm still a little bit, embarrassed because of that thing with my coworker. I mean, it was unexpected. Oh, I actually want to reset all the settings I have there so we can start completely from scratch, because apparently when I was copying the style of that, I actually could, I could actually just reset the scrolling effects. Okay, whatever. I hope, yeah, it wasn't too awkward. So now we have our text completely without any effects, without any animations, and we can start doing it from the very beginning. So our first heading has to slide from, let's say, from the left, and just then stop at the middle of the page, and then scroll from the right, and then stop at the middle of the page, so it forms this sort of a heading. And okay, and if you guys have any questions, if you want to ask something, if you want to add something to what I'm saying, you're always free to write a message in the live chat. I'm checking it constantly, all the time. So if you type something, I'm definitely going to see it. So the first heading, I wanted to slide from the left. So let's just do that. Scrolling effect. Let's enable the scrolling effect. Enabling the scrolling effect. And the first heading is selected. And I want to say horizontal scroll. And okay, by default you have it like that, right? You have the speed set to 4, and the viewport goes from 0 to 100. If I'm not mistaken, this is what the default settings look like. But if we move it to the middle, to 50%, yeah, if we move to 50%, it is going to stop at the middle of the page, right? And actually want it from the left, yeah, like that. If you leave it at 100, you scroll down, like, let's close the thing. You scroll, okay, where is that? You scroll down, and as you scroll past this heading, it's simply going to continue to scroll, and this is kind of not what we need, really. And I want this heading to stop at the middle of the page, as it reaches the, and it kind of looks weird when the editor is opened, but whatever. And what I want to do here is to set this slider to 50, and it is going to mark the end of the animation. It is going to stop at this exact point. And hey there, and thank you for joining in. I'm really glad to see you. I'm really glad to see you guys who is watching right now. And we set it to 50, so it stops at the middle of the page. And the important point here is that effects relative has to be set to either default or viewport. It doesn't really matter which one you choose, because viewport is the default in this case, and it has to be set to viewport, because this slider, if you set it to 50, once you scroll past this heading and it is right in the middle of your viewport, right at the 50% of your viewport, it means that it is going to stop. So this scrolling effect is going to stop to affect this heading. So this is how simple it is. So you see that the animation stops right at the middle of our viewport as this heading reaches the middle of our viewport. And we're going to do the same thing with the second heading. Let's click on it, scroll on effects, horizontal scroll to left, and it has to be set to 50. The second slider has to be set to 50. It has to start at 0, right here, and it has to end at 50. And let's just see what it is going to look like for now. We're going to do a couple more tweaks, but a little later. For now, let's start from the top of the page and simply start scrolling. Like that. It looks a little jittery because of the internet, but you know that, guys. So, you see, as you scroll past these headings, they kind of join and they form one big heading. Because these two lines are connected to each other, this is a complete sentence, you could say, and they now form a heading, and it doesn't move anywhere once these two headings join, and it makes it comprehensible, it makes it work, and this entire title now makes sense. So we could actually leave it like that. It looks pretty good already, don't you think that? To me, it looks good, and you could leave it like that, really. But we could make it a little bit more complex and a little bit more interesting looking. And now the second heading is selected, and we could click on scale. And I have the settings already here. Okay, let's just reset it to the default. By default, this is what your settings look like. And what I want to do here is change the default settings, because by default your heading is going to start scaling like right from the start, but we don't want the heading to be growing bigger. while it is sliding from the right. We want it to start growing bigger once it joins the first heading and once it forms a, you know, a comprehensible title, right? Right? So what I want to do here is grab this slider and slide it to 50, like that. So it means that this heading is now going to grow once it reaches the 50% of our viewport. And my nose keeps itching. It's really itchy. Sorry. So 50%. And right at 50%, it will start growing. The tricky thing here is to really match the pacing and the speed with which these headings are going to grow, so they don't look, disproportional, and they don't look disconnected. They have to be like a single heading, and this is probably the trickiest thing here while applying the scale effect. But we could overcome that using the speed slider, but we're going to have a look at it in a second. First, let's apply the scale animation to the first heading. And this is pretty much the same thing here, and starts at 50 and goes straight to 100%. This is vital. This is really important that you start scaling at 50 once the sliding animation stops. So your sliding animation stops and your scaling animation begins. This is what it looks like. So looks pretty much okay. I don't know, you guys tell me. All right, back to the top of the page, and I'm going to scroll down. Okay, let's just start scrolling. And we see this headings sliding, and you see that the first heading obviously starts to grow bigger first, and then the second joins in, but then you can see that it's doesn't really look good, because the first heading is keeps growing at the same pace, but the second heading grows a little bit faster, and it kind of overlaps with the first heading. We could fix that. Two ways to fix that: change the margin of the second heading, which we moved up using the negative margin. We could say 35 instead of 40, or 30, then it's gonna be better. Also, motion effects, scale, and let's say not 4 but 3.5. No, 3.9. Okay, actually 4 looked good. Yeah, okay. And you see the thing here that the first heading starts scaling up before the second heading actually reaches the middle of the page. It could be fixed. It could be easily fixed if we go right here. If we go to the horizontal scroll of the second heading and we try and tweak the position, maybe the speed. The best way to figure this out is to really play around with the settings. And probably the worst thing here is that your settings are going to be totally different from mine, because your website is going to look different. You're going to use a different font, you're going to use a different font size, you're going to do your own thing, you're going to apply these animations to your own design, and it's going to mean that it's going to be absolutely different. So I'm not going to be spending too much time tweaking this animation. I'm here to simply show you the concept that I figured out, just trying to find out the way to create some interesting text animations. And if you like it, if you like the concept itself, if you like the idea, you're going to apply it to your own design and find out a way to make it look good on your own design, right? All what it takes is just fiddling around with the settings and finding the best fit for your own idea, for your own concept. So this is what it is, our first animated title. I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys were really, really interested to get to know how to do it. So next, the second type of animation, it's happening right here. And this actually doesn't require Elementor Pro. So this particular text animation is not going to, check in the live chat, by the way. So if you want to type something, you're always welcome. So this animation doesn't require Elementor Pro. It is absolutely possible to create it with the free Elementor editor, because all it involves is the entrance animation. So it is a feature available in the free Elementor. So first I'm going to show you what it looks like when it is actually playing back. So we're going to motion effects, and if you're using Elementor free, you are not going to have scrolling effects, mouse effects, sticky, all that stuff. It's going to be missing because these are the features specific for Elementor Pro. But the entrance animation, it is the only feature that is going to be present here in the motion effects tab if you're using Elementor free. So what I have here is a slide in up, and this is what it looks like. And this looks really, really interesting when played back. Let's actually see it. And it works on mobile devices too, which is a really great feature because a lot of people are really interested in the fact that all of these animations play back in the mobile devices as well, on tablets, on smartphones, because a lot of people now using, you saw that. And normally once you scroll, it is going to look like the first heading appears first and the second and the third follow it, and it looks sort of like, the starting point of these animations is shifted a little bit. So it looks really, really interesting. Let's start scrolling down and see how this actually looks on scroll. This is our heading on mobile device as well, and something like that. A little jumpy because of the stream, because the internet is behaving a little bit weird, but whatever. You get the gist, you get the point. The point here is that this heading, it kinda appears from up here, from down here, and kind of floats up. And this is an interesting type of animation, and it is extremely easy to create. It really takes seconds. And what we're going to do here is probably just, what I want to do is create it completely from scratch. So I just want to add a new section. I want to go to the elements. I want to select a heading, I want to drop it in here, and I have disabled motion effects for this particular heading, and once I copy the style from it, it's only going to copy the, let me do it, copy, paste. It's only going to copy the style settings. The style settings which determine how big your text is, how, what weight it has, what color it has, and stuff like that. So what should we type? What should we write? Okay, let it be some text. It's going to be, I'm going to do 2 lines, not 3 lines, for the sake of saving you some time. Oops, deleted everything. Good. So, 1 heading, and we're going to work with this heading for now, and then we're going to duplicate the entire thing, and then simply, change the text, and it's going to be the same animation, and this is how we're going to save us a little bit of time. So what we're going to do here, what we need is make this text float up and make it look like it appears underneath something that covers it, but it doesn't have to be visible. The tricky thing here is that it won't be possible on some background which includes, which involves using images. So it won't be possible with the background image. It will only probably with the gradient too. It will only work properly if you have a solid color as your background, because if you're using an image, it's going to be tricky. Elementor editor currently doesn't provide such a feature as masking, and in this case we're going to be using a technique similar to masking, but it's going to be really a little bit primitive, I have to admit, but it's close to masking. And yeah, this is because it's so primitive, it's only going to work with solid colors, but at least it is better than nothing. It's better to have some sort of interesting look, some sort of interesting animation, even though it's a little bit limited and your creative choices will meet some limits. But this is already amazing, and this is an immense amount of flexibility and creative freedom that you get with a free page builder. Remember, this effect is possible to create with Elementor free, so doesn't require the pro version, and the motion effects and stuff like that you can create it with the free Elementor editor. So here what we could do is create another section, but okay, no, wait, right here we need a second section underneath this one. Underneath, I mean like right down the page. It has to follow this section here, and let's simply create a new section with a simple structure, then drop a spacer in here. Or do we need a spacer actually? I believe that we don't need a spacer. The first time I was trying to do it, I used an intersection and a spacer and said the column background color is white, but here we could do it just this way. Go to the style settings of the section, set the color to white, and in the layout settings change the height to minimum height, and this is where I would change it to 90. You can see how high it actually is. Maybe 100, just to be certain. 100 too much. 90. Okay, let it be 90. If it doesn't work, we're gonna fix it later. All right. Now, advanced, and what we have to do is to move this section up a tiny little bit. Okay, let's just... I'm using the down arrow on my keyboard because the arrows here are missing for some reason. Hey, where are the arrows? Dude, here were arrows, and you could, use the arrows in the fields, in the actual fields to, type the values into, but now I'm using simply the down arrow button on my keyboard because I don't have any other option, obviously. So something like that. So it's really up close, and if you are a little bit nervous about using pixels, just use percents. Could be like that. 2.3. Ooh. Okay, simply 2, -2. Okay. All good. Now, the thing is, we have to apply an entrance animation to this heading. Heading, going to motion effects. Remember, if you're using the free version of Elementor, you're going to have scrolling effects, mouse effects, sticky effects, but we don't really need them here. All we need is the entrance animation, which is a feature present in the free version. So none, and we have to change the non-entrance animation to... Okay, probably I scrolled past it. It was slide up. We need the slide up. Slide in, up. Boom. This is actually it. There we go. And I like to set the animation duration to fast because on normal it looks, it's a little slow. You want it to be, maybe if we set it to slow, it's going to be like it's crazy slow. And let's say fast, like that. And you want it to be a little bit more jumpy, a little bit more prompt, so it's a little faster. So the animation duration, we set it to fast. And if we want multiple lines, what we should do here is simply It's a little bit more convenient if you're using an inner section, but I know that a lot of people try to avoid using inner sections because it adds the complexity to the structure of the page, and it doesn't really need it a lot of times. It's not what you really want to have. Too many sections, too many columns, especially if they're empty. So let's try doing it this way. And what I want to do is to duplicate the heading itself. Just okay, it duplicated the actual widget, but I need to duplicate the section. So section is duplicated. Wanna grab it and drag it underneath that section with white background. Like that, and then duplicating this section with white background, which serves as a, cover for our text. And what we need to do here is click on the settings of this section in which we have our second line in our heading, and just move it up using negative margin. Again, a great thing to have. Really use negative margins all the time, really. And we're just slide it up, like maybe like that, so it looks like a a single thing, so these two lines feel connected, so it feels like a single heading. And I wanted to actually change the text, some text, something like that. And if you have difficulties really navigating across these sections that all overlap each other, use a navigator. You can access it here if you click on this icon, or if you simply use Command or Control if you're using Windows, Control or Command I. And this is the way to open a navigator. And let's just find it really quickly right here. So this is where we have our sections, something like that. And what we could do here, if you're having any difficulties, maybe your cover sections don't overlap the text, maybe they're not over the text but underneath the text, use Z indexes. Z index determines the position of the section in sort of a like Photoshop like layer system. The higher the Z index is, the bigger value your section is going to have in the Z axis, which means that the object with a higher Z index is going to be on top of the object with the lower Z index. I hope that's all clear. And obviously now the first cover, the section that has to cover the first heading now has the Z index of 1, and obviously it covers the text, the second line of our heading. Now in order to bring it back up, we need to set the higher Z index, which is going to be 2. But then to make the here it is, this section. To make this section that has to cover this text actually be over it, be on top of it, we have to set it to a higher value. So I have to set it to 3. So this must be it for this second animation. And let's preview. Let's just roll the preview. And for now, I have a preview opened in the mobile device view. And yes, we're going to, just in a minute, I have no watch, but anyway, in a minute, we're going to switch to the mobile view in Elementor editor, and we're going to see how these animations are working, and if we have to adjust anything, if we have to change anything, if it all looks okay or it's completely unusable on the mobile device. We're going to have a look at all that. So here we are, loads. Okay, a little too much of a gap between two lines, and the text itself is a little too small, but the point here is to create the sections with the white background that have enough height to cover the text as it slides up from the position a little bit below its initial place on the page. And I hope it's clear. If you guys want a little bit more detail on that, maybe you want me to make it once again so you can understand it a little bit better. Maybe it was too quick. Okay, it's weird, and there is definitely too much negative margin on mobile for these two headings. And yeah, because of the internet connection, because we're streaming live on YouTube right now, it's a little jumpy. The actual page is a little jumpy. Not a good thing, and I really hope that you guys don't mind. Because yeah, sometimes you have to meet this kind of inconveniences when you're streaming live. And yeah, probably we just gotta tweak the negative margin and also tweak the actual speed slider or the position slider. Let's see it later. We can easily fix it because this issue, the overlapping of these two headings, only appears on the mobile device. So it's pretty easy to fix. It's going to be pretty easy to fix. But you see, the animation itself works pretty well. It works the way it's supposed to. The headings move, they slide, they then grow bigger. The text as well. The text animation here works as well. So if we do it like that, this is what this heading is going to look like. You can actually move it to the middle, but it doesn't really matter. We're talking the animation concept here. So this is done for the desktop. I have explained to you how you can create two types of text animations, one with Elementor Pro only and the other one with the free version of Elementor. And the responsive mode, if we go to mobile, this is the mobile view, and you can clearly see that the issue here is the height of this section. And what we could do is actually move the second heading. For some reason there appeared some margin which I didn't set. Oh, probably I did. Okay, never mind you guys. For some reason there appeared some margin, some top margin, which is, I don't remember setting it, but maybe I accidentally copied it from the styles of the headings that I pre-made before starting the tutorial, but whatever, who cares. So on mobile it also works, it works the same way, it works correctly, and you simply have to check if the gap between the lines is not that big. Maybe you could go and adjust the size of the heading itself for the mobile device specifically, maybe make it bigger, maybe make it smaller. It was 50, I believe. Yeah, it was 50. 50? Was it 50? 60? No, it was 50. Like that. And now this animation here. What I would do is actually change try and move these sliders, maybe not to 100, but let's set it to 90 for the second heading, and let's see. Okay, by the way, I'm not sure if the changes here impact only... No, I know. The thing is that when you edit the motion effects, it impacts the animation on all of the devices, on all types of devices. Because we don't have the responsive icons here, it means that once you change some settings while being in the mobile view mode, it's going to change this same setting in the desktop view as well. So this is what it's going to look like on desktop. If I change it to 90%, it's going to be 90% on desktop as well. If that's a good thing or not, I don't know. Probably the animation, the motion effects being a new feature, is already pretty great by itself, and it has to get better over time, but it just appeared. It's a new feature, and we shouldn't expect too much from it, even though it's already really, really great. It is amazing, especially for a, for a builder that has been around for not that long time, like a couple, oh, sorry, for how much? From 2016. It's already an amazing progress, really, and I'm really hungry. Sorry for that. So the animation itself looks good. The only thing that I don't really like is the negative margin here. It's I don't like the fact that they overlap each other. I want to reset the margins and paddings on a mobile device or a tablet device. You have to simply click the unlink button. If you want, you can link them back together, but to simply reset and give it 0 values, you see that now they're blank. It means that they kind of retained a similar values that you set on a desktop device, and in order to drop those, to reset those, simply click on the link thing here, and you're going to reset it to 0, and you can set your own values, your own way. And I see a new message in the live chat. Yay. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It's really, really awesome. Oh, I'm so happy when I get such messages, because it means that we're actually bringing some value to people, and that you guys like what we're doing here with this Elementor tutorials. If you have any suggestions for us, if there is any topic that you would like to see us try and show you in the live stream or in some tutorials. I know the tutorials haven't been appearing that often on our channel, but we're working on that, and tutorials are going to be back pretty soon. So if you have any suggestions, always, I keep saying it, if you have ideas, suggestions, maybe you have questions that you want to be resolved, just type it in the live chat, in the comments under our videos, under our tutorials, whatever, anywhere you like. Contact us through social media channels, anywhere. Just let us know what type of content you would love to see. And your suggestions and your ideas are always welcome. Every single one of your ideas. So, now closing the editor and checking this heading, this title out. So want to scroll right now. Okay. Scrolling, and they meet here in the middle of the page, and then keep growing, and yeah, feels like it's all okay. They don't overlap. Looking good. At least looks good to me. All right. So, we have had a look at 2 types of text animations, and I think we're going to wrap this entire thing up in about 5 minutes. First off, I'm going to give you some time to type something in the live chat. Maybe you have some questions and you want to get a reply from me, an answer, or maybe a new suggestion for an upcoming tutorial or a live stream. So 5 more minutes, you guys, and I sent a message in the live chat. How about live stream on using CSS Grid with Elementor? Wow, that's so good. Okay, using the CSS Grid with Elementor, I actually have to look into it, and you know what, maybe once we're going to have a poll or a questionnaire about what topics you guys would like to see in the live stream. And CSS Grid is a great idea, and I'm really sure that a lot of people will appreciate that, and a lot of people will be excited to see something like that. But I actually have to think about that, if it's going to be better in a live stream format or in a tutorial format. And let me think about that, and let me know what you guys think about it. Creating a live stream on a CSS Grid with Elementor, or creating a tutorial. So which format you like better? And doing a tutorial, it's a little bit, I would say it takes a little bit more time to prepare everything, to record stuff, to edit stuff, and then to upload it. It takes a little bit more time, but the production of value and stuff like that, the quality of the end result of the final video, it's better because you can cut out all of the loading screens, which I hate right here in Elementor, to cut out all of this stuff, like when while the page is loading, you simply cut that stuff out and you don't include it in the final video. And this is probably the reason why live streams often take so long, because you have that thing like live stream loading screens, right? And but anyway, I really like this format because I can have a conversation with you guys, and I can answer your comments in the live chat. I can answer your questions if you have any. We can actually discuss stuff. The complexity of the subject. Okay, I really like that you agree with me. Tutorial will be better. The complexity of the subject might make a tutorial better. Yeah, this is what I was thinking exactly. And really happy to hear that you support my opinion. That's important. But yeah, actually I think that it's going to be better for both me and the viewers to make a tutorial on that. All right, so tutorial it is, and I hope that next week it is definitely going to be live. We have a little number of projects to be finished on schedule, and I hope that next week it's going to be rolled out, it's going to be live. And yeah, and if you guys thank you, really appreciate that, really appreciate this idea, this suggestion. This is actually really interesting to try and do that, and I have to actually write this down so I don't forget, which might happen. And if I do forget, just remind me somewhere, remind me on the next live stream, because the live stream is also going to happen next week. And just remind me, type me something in the live chat or in the comments under the videos. If I forget, let me know that you forgot, or you promised but you forgot. Just let me know about that if I forget. So CSS, great, just wrote it down. And last week there was a suggestion about short codes, and I also remember about that. The thing is, as I've said, too many projects on the schedule, too many projects on the list, and this is why the workaround was a little bit slower. This is a pen. This is why the workaround was a little bit slower than usual, so this is why the tutorials haven't been appearing that often on the channel. But you know, we're going to be back with the tutorials starting from the next week, I believe. Not like I believe, but definitely we're going to be back with the tutorials next week. So another thing, if you have any ideas about the topics for the live streams, first of all, let me know how you liked today's video, how you liked today's live stream, if it was useful for you, if it was interesting, if text animations and motion effects overall is something that interests you or not. I just really want to know what you guys want to see, what type of content would be useful and would bring the biggest amount of value for you guys. And yeah, I believe that it has been almost an hour. It becomes a tradition actually to have an hour long not tutorials. I wanted to say tutorials, but I really meant live streams. Crazy. Even though this one seemed to be quite simple, and I thought I thought it would be like a half an hour at most, but it turned out to be almost an hour as always. I don't know why. And I seen a message, and I really enjoy hearing these things, that you guys really like watching these live streams, that you enjoy watching our webinars, and it's really important for us that you hit the like buttons, that you subscribe, so we know that it's worth it making these live streams. And yeah, thank you so much, and we're doing this for you. And if you want to let us know how we could bring even more value for our viewers, just don't hesitate, type it in, contact us through social media channels, Facebook, Instagram. There are always people in charge, great people, our managers who would always answer any of your comments, any of your messages, whatever. So I think it's time to wrap this entire thing up. And thank you so much for, I'm really actually really hungry. So I hope you can't hear it, but you know, so time to wrap this up. And I hope that today's webinar was something useful for you, and you're going to try to go now, crack Elementor open and try using these animations today, like right now on any of your test websites or any of your projects, and try and see how you could do that. And as you know, your suggestions are always welcome. So it's time to wrap it up. I see you guys, another co-worker coming in, and probably it's a sign that it's time to finish it, to actually go offline. Thank you guys for joining in, and I remind you to check out the links to TemplateMonster.com, to Elementor Marketplace specifically, and to one.templatemonster.com. You have the links in the live chat. Also, if you scroll down a little bit, you're going to see the discount, the promo code, which says webinar 10, and this promo code is going to give you a 10% discount if you decide to subscribe to one membership by TemplateMonster. And if you have just joined the live stream and you haven't heard of one by TemplateMonster, first you can find the link up in the chat, or I'm going to show it to you right now. This is the website. And with one membership, you get over 10,000 products for website building, including a huge selection of WordPress themes and CMS themes. If I'm not mistaken, let's check it. I don't remember how many, but if we click WordPress, it's not only themes, but also plugins. And if we click WordPress, I believe here we're going to see how many themes. Okay, so over 866 WordPress themes, 158 WooCommerce themes, 100 Elementor templates, and 13 WordPress plugins. So this is the selection that is specifically for WordPress. And you can see the designs right here. You can view the live demo of every single of these templates. So it's absolutely up to you. But if you decide to subscribe, it's, by the way, you can see the pricing if you go over here. But the basic plan is unlimited downloads and unlimited number of, okay, so you can download an unlimited number of projects and unlimited number of times and use them for an unlimited number of your own websites, your own projects. So if you find it amazing, you can find out more about the pricing by this plan, unlimited everything, simply $19 per month. This was the like the regular price, but the sale price right here is $17 per month. And if you want to run the billing once a year, it's going to be okay. There's actually, I won't be going into really detail about the pricing here, but it's $199. So you can find the promo code. I can actually share it in the live chat. Okay, give me a second. So here goes the promo code. So if you want to subscribe, use this promo code and you're gonna get a 10% discount. So thank you guys for joining in. Thank you for staying tuned and following this live stream. And I hope you gain something useful and something interesting from this video. And I see you guys next week. Bye. And I have to find my cursor now to switch it off. Okay, done. See ya.